Today on Stage 8 of the Tianyota Cup Tour of Qinghai Lake, we've got 129 riders strong like bull, getting ready to do 201 kilometers from the mountains all the way down to the flats. Well-dressed individuals all over the place were getting ready for the start as the rain started down once again. Okay, how are your chances today? It's long downhill, almost 100 kilometers. And
yes, important not too much gap in the front in the climb. And okay, we have three my team rider wait me in the climb, and we try to go back in the group. I try to good sprint.
We started our stage in the picturesque mountain town known as Little Switzerland, which is Chilean at 2,740 meters. We're going to stay high, we're going to stay wet and probably windy though, as we're going up and over the first king of the mountain at 3,450 meters. From there, we go along and we go to Erbao, which means elbow in Chinese, and then we're going over the Orver category climb of 3,869 meters, and then a 100-kilometer drop down to 1,400 meters to the very fat air down in Jiangye. Race leader Samad Pourseyedigolakhour is getting ready for the start, along with the other 128 riders, while they're sitting there in the rain. The gun goes off, and everybody heads off happily into a headwind. Things are going along pretty slow because of the fact that we've got a hill coming up, and we've also got a king of the mountain within the first 25 kilometers. It's not a big hill in comparison to everything else. It's only 3,400 plus meters, but nevertheless, it's keeping things slow in the bunch. In the lead over the top is Hossein Alizadeh. He is getting some points to once again solidify his placings in GC. Since Hossein got the King of the Mountain prize, he decided to continue on, and he was pushing the pace up in the front. He was going for more GC points and more GC time because of the closeness of everybody in the top 5. Alizadeh is known as a climber. He's the 2012 King of the Mountain champion, but today he proved his all-arounder status by getting sprint number 1. After sprint number 1, the wind increased and the temperature dropped down to 7 degrees Celsius. Nevertheless, local animator Qinghai stud Liu Biao took off with Gregory Terende, headed off on a break and pulled off 3 minutes 30 seconds into that savage wind. They're working together and working like ranchers on the way up to El Bois. The final mega summit in this year's tour was 3,869, and as if to make it worse, it also had a headwind all the way up the valley. Still, Liu Biao and Terende were on their way up, working their way through the rain, but back in the pack we had the yellow jersey, the Iranian national champion, the second place in the King of the Mountain category, and also Rahim Emami. The breakaway continued its quest, and the King of the Mountain was won by Terende. Look at that headwind that he's driving into, not to mention 8% grades. Liu Biao comes in second, and all the locals cheer. Grabbing the points for third was Samad Pourseyedigolakhour of Tabriz Petrochemical. He's got the King of the Mountain jersey. That's the end of the climbing right there. And with that, the peloton starts down steeply. Even the aliens are dressed super warm today. The peloton regrouped on the treacherous descent. It was rainy, windy, and nasty, but nevertheless, the peloton was going 75 kilometers an hour when they were coming up to sprint number 2, and it looks like it's Luis Mas Bonet getting it. At sprint number 2, the wind kept going, but the rain stopped and the peloton regrouped. At that time, serious animator Matt Brammeyer jumped off yet again with Tim Miklizik from the Sava team. Those guys worked their way out to a maximum of 220, which basically made the peloton nervous. They went back to the team cars, they shucked off the vests, they took off the raincoats, and got down to business. Inside the last kilometer, the peloton ended up grabbing the 2 breakaway riders, and everything was getting set up for the final sprint. We've got United Healthcare in the lead, taking things out, and it looks like we've got a couple Lamprey Merida riders as well. We're coming down to 300 meters. We can't quite, oh, there it is. Yes, it looks like that's Modolo. He's come out from gosh knows where. He's on his way possibly to his 3rd stage win. We can't quite see it. Yes, it is Sacha Modolo taking the win. Maximiliano from Lamprey Merida took second, and right across the line was Rico Rogers from Baku. Yeah, today it was another tough day, but my team, once again, they came right to the fore. I'm not climbing that well, but still, they brought me up basically to the last kilometer, which put me right on track to get on the United Healthcare train, and I was pretty much able to take those guys all the way to the line and come around for the win. So, again, I have to thank my team for my third stage win. Sacha Modolo is getting very good at spraying champagne, with this being his third win. And with Richeze and Rogers right up there as well, they're going after it and once again ruining cameras all over the front row. Samad Pourseyedigolakhour is best Asian rider yet again, his third or fourth blue jersey. He's also got the King of the Mountain sewed up, because today was the last big climbing stage and you're not going to get anything in a circuit race. Sacha Modolo is here spraying champagne and getting the green jersey, and he's still got 5 stages to go to fight off other challengers. We'll have to see what happens. But right here is Samad Pourseyedigolakhour, your yellow jersey, and he's got a pretty good lock on it. 9 out of the top 10 riders are Asian in GC. Tomorrow's a well-deserved rest day in fat, oxygen-laden air down here in Zhangye. Tomorrow's going to be a rest day, but we'll be back the day after with the Zhangye circuit race. I'm Sean Nagel for Cycling CN. We'll see you soon.